Hello and welcome back to another Defying the Stars Tarot and Astrology Pick a Deck weekly reading. This week we are going to be asking our decks, what would they say to you now? The idea behind this reading is for those of you out there who are thinking of someone who you are no longer in communication with, either because of a falling out, an argument, just passing circumstances, or even if the person that you wish you could talk to is passed. The idea behind this reading is to get an idea of what they would say to you right now in this current moment in time if they could speak with you. So, as we choose the deck that we're going to go with this time, I'll lay out the 4 options. Deck number 1 is Cat Tarot. Deck number 2 is Dali Tarot. Deck number 3 is Grimalkin's Curious Cats Tarot. There it is. Yes, we have multiple cats here. And deck number 4 is Modern Witch Tarot. So I invite you to close your eyes. Bring to mind that person that you wish you could speak to right now. Bring to mind that person that you wish you could hear from. And holding them in your mind, take a deep breath. And as you let that breath out, open up your eyes and center in on whichever deck calls to you first. Then go ahead and view the description below to get the timestamps for each reading. You can click right to your reading. I will go ahead and jump into readings, but as always, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see future videos, and please leave a comment and let me know how I do in this reading. I always love hearing from you and getting a better idea of how accurate my readings are and how I could do better. So thank you for being here, and we'll get into the readings. Welcome to our reading for deck number 1, the Cat Tarot deck. And again, our question today is, what would they say to you now? I've gone ahead and shuffled the deck, and so we'll go ahead and cut the deck and draw our first 3 cards. See what it is they would say to you now. Okay. For our first 3 cards, we have the Page of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, or sorry, I got that wrong, the 6 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands reversed. I think what this person would say to you, if they could speak to you now, is to keep going, is to put the work in. What I'm seeing from these cards with the Page of Pentacles, we have pages are known as messengers. They are beginners on their journeys. With this Page of Pentacles, I sense a message, and that message with it carries kind of a need to be patient, a need to be methodical and thoughtful in the approach. When you combine it with the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Cups here brings with it a sense of nostalgia, a sense of longing for better times, happier times. And a lot of times that idea of a better time, a happier time, we're looking at the past through rose-colored glasses. So it can almost skew our view of the present when we are comparing it to the past and thinking that the past was better and the present isn't measuring up. A lot of times that leads us to discount the hardships of the past because they are past. We don't feel them the same way we feel the hardships of the present. Sixes are also cards of balance and harmony. And with the Six of Cups, that brings with it the idea of emotional balance, inner peace and harmony, that kind of emotional serenity. I think with these first two cards, I'm getting a sense of the message may be you may be sensing right now that this is a time of difficulty. Maybe you are starting on a new venture, or you are struggling to come up with your next steps. What this person would tell you now is that you are at the beginning. You are on the right track. Don't throw it all away because it's not as easy as you thought it would be, because you are clinging to something in the past that seems like it was better than what you are currently doing. And coming to our third card, the Three of Wands reversed. That card is always about the start of something, the start of something long term, the moment of anticipation before starting a journey, that moment of planning and preparation and looking out over the horizon as you begin to take those first steps. With this card reversed, there brings a sense of hesitation to those first steps. There brings a sense of fear laced with that anticipation in that moment is laced with a sense of fear. What I'm sensing from these three cards is don't let that fear consume you. Just because things have been easier in the past, just because um, this is a long road you have ahead, um, doesn't mean that you are not fully equipped with the tools that you need to undertake this. And I'm just getting a sense of don't give up before you get started. You can do this, and it's worth doing. I'm going to pull a few more clarifier cards to get some more wisdom and maybe some more nuance to this message. So what else would this person add to this? So here we have the Six of Wands, and we have the Six of Cups already. So two sixes here. So a lot of idea of balance. The Six of Wands is more about a balance of energy, a balance of effort. With the Six of Wands, we are called to consider how much we are taking on and how much we can actually handle. You see in this card the kitten trying to take on 6 strings on this one toy. One probably would have been enough. So the idea here is kind of, are you juggling too much? Have you bitten off more than you can chew? But I think when we're talking about a message from this person, what would they say to you now when you take that in combination with the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Wands? What I'm sensing is you may be younger, or you may be young in the sense that you are new to whatever it is that you're starting to do. You are inexperienced in some way. Like the kitten on the card, you are full of energy and drive, um, and may not know any better than to go for all 6 strings at one time. I think what I'm hearing here is pace yourself. Don't try to do it all at once. Don't try to build Rome in a day, as they say. The Page of Pentacles again calls for a slow, methodical process of learning and growing. And I think the message here is, hey, don't try to do it all. You don't have to do it all. You need to balance your efforts, and you need to take your time with this. Next, on the Six of Cups, what further information can we get? The Death card. Normally, I'm not very literal about the Death card, but I feel like in this particular context of this reading, it may be somewhat literal here. The Six of Cups being a card of nostalgia and the Death card coming in on top of it, it may be that the loss of someone in particular has changed things for you, that you felt you feel that life was better when this person was in your life, and now that they are not, you are looking back on that time with nostalgia and longing, wanting to go back to that and not being able to. If that doesn't resonate with you, if that's not the context of your reading, then I would say the meaning here is simply that the past is gone. The thing that you are looking back on with fondness and maybe longing is no longer accessible. It had to end. And with every ending comes a new beginning. So this card, I feel, is inviting you to allow the past to remain in the past, and to focus on that new beginning, even though it may be hard to let go of what came before. And the Six of Cups is not a card of letting go of what came before necessarily. That's more the Six of Swords territory. But the Six of Cups, again, it calls for balance. You can look back on what was good and cherish those memories and strive to emulate the things that were good about it, while also focusing on moving forward with your new beginning. You know, imagine a scenario where you lost a job that you loved and you can't get that job back. That's gone, that's over. But in searching for your next job, you might consider, okay, what did I like about that job? What did I not like about that job? And use that criteria to help guide you to what you're looking for your next job. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from the pairing of the Six of Cups and the Death card, is use the past to inform the future, but don't cling to the past, and don't try to recreate it entirely. Um, that fixation on the past is going to keep you stuck. Let's get one final clarifier on the Three of Wands here. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. In the context of what would they say to you now? What I'm feeling with the Ace of Cups reversed, modifying the Three of Wands reversed, is that your hesitation to move forward is coming from a place of a lack of confidence. Not necessarily that you lack confidence in yourself, but that you are not feeling the support of those around you. You maybe are not feeling the support of the spiritual world around you. You've maybe lost touch with that sort of source of inner peace and self-love even. I think what these two cards together are saying is you are hesitating to get started because you have forgotten or have lost touch with the knowledge that there is an endless source of love and support out there for you. Maybe not in the physical world, but out in the universe. And you have everything you need within you to get started. Aces are also cards of opportunity. The Ace of Cups, being a water card, we're talking about emotional opportunity. This is an opportunity for emotional growth. This is the opportunity for new connections and new relationships. Um, what we may be seeing here with the combination of these cards is the grief over the end of a connection with another person, whether that is by, uh, a choice, by a breakup, you had a fight with a friend, or by, just the inevitable fact of life if someone has passed on. um, I think what these cards are saying is, don't just give up and don't just cling to the past. It's scary to put yourself back out there, and it's scary to form close bonds with someone when you have lost such an important bond. I think the fact of this reading, the whole idea of it, the what would they say to you now, if you believe that this is channeling something, the fact that they are speaking to you now is confirmation that you haven't lost that bond. It's just not accessible to you in the same way that it was before, but that doesn't mean it's gone. And so coming back to that Ace of Cups reverse, that feeling of disconnection, of having lost that piece, it's not that it's gone, it's just that you haven't picked up on the new way of connecting with it, or you have kind of lost sight of that potential. What I think they would say to you after seeing all of these cards is, don't be afraid to move on. Don't be afraid to try again. Don't be afraid to keep going. Whether this is a situation over a relationship or something else that's going on in your life. Maybe there's you're starting a new career, or you are, there could be all kinds of things, a new creative project, thinking about having kids maybe, or just, trying to move on from grief. Whatever your specific scenario is, I think the thing that they would say to you is, don't let it hold you back. Don't get stuck in the past. Find that balance of appreciating and cherishing what came before, but start taking those small steps toward the future. And don't let fear hold you back. Um, don't let what appears like a perfect past scare you off from pursuing something in the future. Um, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good is the phrase that comes to mind. So you may have this idealized past that you have lost and you want it back so bad, but don't be afraid to go out and find something else because you're afraid it won't be as good as what you had before. The truth is that it'll be different. It may be good in different ways. It doesn't have to be what you had before to give you what you need. So I think that wraps it up pretty neatly. I would love to hear what you thought about this reading. I'd love to hear your stories. Please leave a comment. But if I don't hear from you, I thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Welcome to deck number 2 of our weekly reading. Today's question, what would they say to you now? So I've gone ahead and shuffled. We're going to cut the deck and get right into our reading. We're going to pull 3 cards and then see what else we can gather. All right. So many pages. All right. Very interesting start to this reading. The first reading that I did for this video also began with the Page of Pentacles, and here we have the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Wands. I think it's interesting that so many pages are coming through in a set of readings about what somebody would say to you, because pages are known as messengers. They are carrying some kind of information or message that you need to hear. So with our Page of Swords reversed, the Page of Swords is the messenger of all messengers, because swords are the card of air, intellect, the mental skills, thought. So they are the ones who are most likely to carry ideas, truth, hard fact. Um, with the Page of Swords reversed, I get the sense that you have been experiencing some mixed messages, some contradictory information. Maybe you feel like you've been lied to, or you feel like somebody is only telling you half truths. I feel like with the Page of Swords reversed here, the message I feel like is coming through in terms of what they would say to you is check your sources. Be careful what you're listening to. Be careful of who you're listening to. With the Page of Wands, that is a card of a lot of energy and passion. And the Page of Wands is somebody who is just diving into something for the first time, who is just getting started on a passion project, for example. With the Page of Wands coming through, I'm getting a sense of, the thing that comes to mind is when you compare it to the Page of Swords, with those two coming in back to back, the thing that comes to mind is, to quote a certain pundit, watch what they say, not what they do, or watch what they do, not what they say. Look at the actions rather than the words. So in this scenario, I don't know, obviously who it is that you are seeking to hear a message from. If they are no longer with you, I sense that this is a bit of a warning about who and what to trust around you. If this is someone who you have had a falling out with, or you feel like you can't get a straight answer from, then I feel like the advice here is to forget about their words and look at what they have done. A scenario comes to mind of in the ancient days of my dating life. There was someone who I was involved with who said a lot of things to me that made me believe certain things. But when compared to his actions, it was very clear that he was talking out his rear end. And it took me a hell of a long time to see that, because I wanted to believe his words. I liked his words better than his actions. you hear what you want to hear, right? So I think that there's a caution here to be wary of someone who is telling you one thing but doing another. The last card that we've pulled is the Star. And the Star, I think of it as kind of your guiding light, the North Star, the thing that guides you to where you're supposed to be. It's sort of an internal compass too, though. It's not necessarily an external guide. It's within you. It's your intuition. It's that moral compass, maybe. It's I think of Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket and the Blue Fairy, and she comes down from the sky, from the like a star in the sky, and let your conscience be your guide. So many associations pouring out there, but ultimately it's a guiding light. Combined with these other two cards, the message here is clear to me: is follow your intuition. You know what is real. It may be hard to listen to that voice if temptation is pulling you in a different direction, um, if you're hearing all of these different things that make you question yourself, if you're being gaslit. Like, all of these things can guide you to not trust that guiding light, but follow that and you will be okay. Let's see if we can get a little more information here. What would they say to you if you could speak to them right now? Here we have let's see. I always have to count on these because they don't have the numbers. The Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands coming in on the Page of Swords. The Ten of Wands is a card of that final flurry of activity as you approach the finish line. It is that culmination of effort. Here it is reversed. What I'm sensing is a bit of confusion and delay in the final hours, minutes, moments. It may be that something in your life is coming to a close. And in that final flurry of activity, things have been said that are causing confusion or causing hesitation. Maybe this is, you are thinking about ending a relationship with someone. And with that Page of Swords reversed, the thinking is, well, is it really time? Is it not? And so that Ten of Wands reversed coming in is that kind of delay of the culmination, the delay of the finish. There could also be a sense of you are waiting for word from someone to feel like you can wrap this up. You are seeking closure. I think this could be a case where maybe you did have a relationship end, or it's not officially ended, but it feels like it's ended, and somebody's kind of keeping you in limbo. And so you're like, well, I don't want to call it done until I get that confirmation. And what I'm seeing here is that this person may not give you that. They may not give you the decency of a firm answer. They may keep you in limbo. And that's why it's important to look at their actions and listen to your intuition, because this person you want to hear from may never give you what it is that you're looking for. Our next clarifier on the Page of Wands is the the 10 of Cups. So another 10. Again, a culmination, a completion. The 10 of Cups to me is that complete emotional fulfillment. It's usually a very happy card. It's a very joyous card. With it coming in here on the Page of Wands, I want to pull the final clarifier before I say what I think this means, because I don't want to lead you astray here. I'm getting some kind of conflicting ideas. Maybe they're both valid. Maybe they're, kind of two readings in one here. Multiple batches picked this deck, but let's see what this last one is. On the star, we have the King of Wands reversed. So the King of Wands is sort of the ultimate delegator. He is the director of the show. He is calling the shots. With it reversed here on the star, the sense I am getting is that I think that you are reluctant to call the final shot. I think that because there's that lack of tapping into the intuition, you are holding back on making that final move. So with going back to the 10 of Cups on the Page of Wands, I'm getting the sense that this kind of flips two ways. If you listen to the Page of Swords reversed, the outcome that you're getting is the 10 of Wands reversed. You are stuck. You are waiting for a final word. You are just shy of the finish line. There's something waiting in limbo. If you listen to the Page of Wands, and again, the original idea here was, watch what they do, not what they say. What are the messages you are getting from what they are doing? If you listen to that, then you have the option to get that emotional fulfillment. And I think here, the thing that's calling out to me with this 10 of Cups is that it may not be the ecstasy and joy that one tends to associate with the 10 of Cups. That may not be how it feels in the moment. It may be more of a sense of closure, a sense of being able to put these emotions to bed and move on. It's, going back to the scenario I described with the guy who was saying one thing but doing another. The only way to get to that emotional fulfillment was to stop listening to what he was saying and look at what he was doing. But there's something about the art on this card that also just gives me Playboy vibes. And I'm using a nicer word than the one I want to use. You see this guy just straight on ogling this woman's chest. I get the sense that this person may have already moved on. They may have already moved on to something for themselves, and they're not willing to tell you that because they're trying to spare your feelings or they don't want to look like the bad guy. There's a lot of reasons why somebody might do this, and they're not all completely nefarious, but in terms of what you're looking for, I think they are unhelpful. I think what they would say to you is kind of a mixed bag, because if they were to talk to you, they would probably lie to you. They would probably try to spare your feelings or not give you the full truth. They would try to, they would probably give you some kind of false hope. But if you were to be able to see their actions and their behavior, then I think the message would become clearer that um, that we have reached a conclusion, a culmination here, that that it may be time to let go. And coming back to the Star and the King of Wands reversed, only you can make that choice to move on. Only you can make that choice to listen to your intuition above all the other noise. Um, and ultimately, to get out of this, you are going to have to make a firm decision, be that King of Wands energy, and decide for yourself what's next. Decide for yourself what the situation is and what you're going to do about it. Because I don't see a lot of clarity coming through from the person you're looking to hear from. I don't think they're going to give you the information you need. Now, if you are not in a relationship scenario, if this is about, if you're looking for advice from on high, from someone who has passed, the message may be a little different here. I think that the overall message is the same, that if you listen to the things that are being said, you are going to get stuck. If you listen, observe the things that are being done, you're going to be in a much better situation. You've got to listen to your own intuition on the matter and make your own call. I think that advice is kind of the same, even if the person that you're hoping to hear from is very different. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your stories. I would love to know how well this reading resonated with you. But if I don't hear from you, I just want to thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again in a future reading. Welcome to the reading for deck number 3, Grimalkin's Curious Cats Tarot. As a reminder, today we are asking, what would they say to you now? So getting an idea of what someone might say if you could speak with them. We're going to cut the deck. I've already shuffled, and we will go ahead and pull our first 3 cards. So for our first card, we have the King of Cups. Second card, the 7 of Pentacles reversed. And our third card, the 4 of Pentacles. Right off the bat, we have the King of Cups. That is a card of sort of ultimate emotional maturity, the ultimate level of emotional intelligence, being able to balance compassion with reason, being able to separate your feelings from the feelings of others, not getting, emotionally manipulated. All of those things come into the idea of the King of Cups. To figure out how that applies to you and this message, however, I think we need to look at the other cards. So, with the 7 of Pentacles reversed, the 7 of Pentacles is the sevens are always a card of a journey, of a difficult choice is usually involved. What comes to mind is the 7 of Cups, and with that you have this sort of this idea of multiple choices, multiple options, multiple temptations even, and having to choose one of those. When it comes to the Seven of Pentacles, I think that that is also true. There's less of an emotional tenor to it. There's less of a dreamlike quality. I think what we see here in this card, we see a cat that is fixated on the 6 birds in the tree and is not paying any attention to this 7th bird in the sky above it. Um, it's an idea of tending to what you have and what is right in front of you rather than chasing things that are out of your reach. With this coming in reversed, the idea is that perhaps we are ignoring a possibility or becoming too fixated on what's in front of us. Um, it could also be an indicator of um, an indicator of limiting one's possibilities. I think that was kind of said in what I said before. I apologize. I'm doing this off the cuff and I don't edit out my pauses, so you get the whole word vomit here. With it coming in reversed, I think that there could also be an idea of not tending enough to the thing that's right in front of you, that you are running off and chasing the thing that is out of reach. So it could cut either way. But let's get into our final card and see how that clarifies it for us, because I think it does. With the Four of Pentacles, we have the idea of stability and balance. Um, but that can also be kind of we can have kind of a stranglehold on the situation with the Four of Pentacles. It can be kind of um, a situation where you are desperately protecting what you have. I think with this card, you can see this cat is sort of frantically holding down these 4 mice. It can't even begin to deal with the birds flying around behind it because this is its whole world. These 4 mice, it's got to keep a hold of them because if it loses one, the whole thing falls apart. I think that that brings clarity to our Seven of Pentacles reversed, of fixating a lot on the things that are right in front of you, fixating a lot on the situation at hand, and really remaining sort of oblivious to what else is out there. So we see kind of that same concept twice. So in terms of what this person would say to you, um, with the King of Cups combined with these two things, I think this is calling for you to consider your emotions around control. Consider whether you are allowing the emotions of others or the emotion of the situation to sway you in a way that is unhelpful or keep you trapped in a situation that is not good. Um, I know that's all very vague. I want to go ahead and pull some clarifier cards to see if we can get a better idea of what they would say to you if they could. So on our King of Cups, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a card of partnership, of emotional union. This could be a romantic relationship. This could be a very close friendship. It could be a very strong creative partnership. But the idea here is that you are working in harmony with another person, and that this close connection is a source of of joy, of love, of stability, um, of power for you. I'm going to go ahead and get our next clarifier. This one's kind of a tough one. The Ten of Wands on our Seven of Pentacles. So we talked about the Seven of Pentacles reversed being you're really focused on what you have in front of you. You don't have the bandwidth to go and look at what else is going on. With the Ten of Wands, I think that is, we have a confirmation here that there's a whole lot going on. There's a lot of effort that has already been put in and continues to be put in an attempt to reach some kind of culmination of a goal. The Ten of Wands is upright, so I do get the sense that that fruition, that culmination, that reaching of the goal is possible. But we may have a situation here where you're a little too narrow-mindedly focused on that. Let's get our last clarifier. Hopefully it'll bring the whole thing together. The High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of that sort of wisdom that is handed down through the ages. It is the wisdom of ancestors and institutions. It is not necessarily rote information. When I say wisdom, I mean specifically it's that sort of intuitive knowledge, the things that have been figured out over time, the things that don't have a lot of factual or scientific basis, but they have that sort of emotional and intuitive resonance. There's a lot of water here between our King of Cups and our Two of Cups, and the High Priestess always feels like a very watery card to me. But it does have that sort of earthen quality of the institutionalism, the tradition, there's that stability in there that feels very earthy. I think what they would say to you, if they could talk to you right now, is to have a little faith, to take comfort in your connections, to take solace in a partnership, to stop fixating so much on present material circumstances. I think what they would say to you is that it's all going to work out. What I'm getting here is a sense of fear and anxiety around money, finances, survival. There's a real fear and anxiety about keeping it all together and being cautious, being conservative. There's a real fear of going out on a limb here. There's a real fear of jeopardizing the stability of the situation, of squandering what you have. And I think what they would say to you, if they could, is that, hey, you are an incredibly emotionally mature person. You have already in you this enormous source of wisdom and love and emotional intelligence. You have a strong union with somebody, maybe multiple somebodies. It could be talking about, you have a loving husband and you have a wonderful supportive best friend, but you have these interpersonal connections that are a source of comfort and a source of power for you. You have these things to lean on. and you are so focused on your goal, on tending to your circumstances, that it's maybe preventing you from seeing that you're almost there, that you are closer than you think. You are on the cusp of getting what it is that you are looking for. And it's important to tap into your intuition, to that kind of higher knowledge, to tap into that wisdom and remember all of that. Remember what it is you have going for you and be able to see that, yes, it's coming, and you don't have to keep fighting so hard. You don't have to keep holding on so hard, because it's that holding on that is going to take you off balance and take you away from the things that make you who you are and make you so strong and wise and capable. I think that's what they would say to you. They would say, take comfort, take relief from what your intuition can tell you, and don't let the fears and concerns of your material circumstances weigh you down as much as they are, because they are keeping you from seeing the beauty in your life. From, it's kind of, you're having trouble seeing the forest because all you can see is the individual trees in front of you, and there is a beautiful forest out there still. So I think that is the overall message that they are sending to you. I hope that this was helpful. I would love to hear from you in the comments, if this resonated with you, what your experience is. If I don't hear from you, however, I just want to thank you for being here, and I hope I will see you in a future reading. Hello, and welcome to our reading for deck number 4, Modern Witch Tarot. Our question today is, what would they say to you now? So I've gone ahead and shuffled off camera, and I will go ahead and cut the deck and bring in our first 3 cards. So our first card is the Lovers. Our next card, the 3 of Pentacles. These are all reversed so far. And finally, the Emperor. What I take from these 3 cards here, we have the Lovers, which is a card of duality, of decisions. What I'm sensing with the Lovers reversed is some internal conflict. With the 3 of Pentacles, I am sensing the 3 of Pentacles is a card of collaboration. It often has a lot to do with working as a team, with having a group project kind of a thing. So this may be related to a business venture. This could be related to a job. This could be, this could be related to, a family unit who are all working together to build a life. But with our 3 of Pentacles reversed, I'm sensing a little bit of friction in that sort of team unity and harmony. We're having some trouble working together. And for our third card, we have the Emperor, who, on a bad day can become a dictator. So what does it all mean in terms of what would they say to you? I am sensing that the reason you are not speaking with this person directly is because they are keeping it to themselves right now, or because you feel like you can't reach out to them. If this is a situation where you are seeking a message from someone who has passed, I think that that becomes a very different message here. But um, I'm going to go on the assumption that that's not what this is. Um, I'm sensing that this person, if they could speak to you right now, would say that they are at war with themselves. They are trying to come to a difficult decision, and they are having trouble working together with you. I think that perhaps that they are trying not to make unilateral decisions or take over, but they may be struggling with the execution of that. But let's get some clarifiers to see if there's more here than I'm picking up with these first three cards. So we have the Seven of Swords reversed. With the Seven of Swords, for me, the seven cards are often cards about making difficult choices. They are often cards about individual solo action, going it alone. I think what we have here is this person is battling within themselves over whether to stay and keep working as part of this team or to pack up their swords and go. Um, they are having a hard time coming to grips with the idea of compromise. Probably they're having a hard time with that. um, the Seven of Swords for me really brings forth the idea of having to compromise intellectually, having to um, having to give in on a principle. um, that's a hard choice to make, and a lot of times that's a hard line for us where we say this is one that I can't compromise on. I got to walk away. So I think that that's the decision that this person is struggling with. Um, on the Three of Pentacles reversed, all right, the King of Pentacles, also reversed here. I think this person is feeling a great deal of insecurity. They are feeling like they are not in control of this situation. They are feeling like that lack of control over the situation is perhaps endangering them, maybe on a financial level, but on some kind of level, they feel like they're not sure that they're going to get something out of this. And that is making them feel very uncertain about continuing on. The King of Pentacles wants to feel like they are in charge of all that the eye can see. Uh, Going back to the Emperor, there's more of that idea of like they can be a bit of a dictator, and I think that that comes up a bit more with in the realm of Pentacles and perhaps the realm of Wands as well. The Earth and the Fire, there's a little bit more rigidity there. There's a little bit more inflexibility um, when it comes to trying to do it somebody else's way. Because for the King of Pentacles, it's like I've worked long and hard to get where I am. I have consolidated power over this realm, and I'm not going to risk it on a whim. I'm not going to gamble it. For the Emperor, our clarifier is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. With the Eight of Pentacles reversed, I am seeing, again, there's just more fear here. There's a fear of the penalty of making bad choices. I feel like this person is concerned that they made a bad bet, and they are considering whether it's better to just walk away before they lose even more. Because 8 is a number of karma. It is split evenly. It's like the balance on a sword's edge. It can fall one way, it can fall the other. So for somebody who has been on top of it, who has made good choices, then the expectation of the Eight of Pentacles would be that they are going to be receiving their reward for that. With it reversed here on the Emperor, I think that they are very much afraid that karma is about to tip the other way on them, that they may have made a rash decision which is going to bite them. So I think what this person would say to you is that they are very afraid right now. They are tempted to stand on principle and walk away from the whole thing. They are having a hard time giving up their control over the situation. They are very afraid that the choices that they have made are going to bite them in the butt. And they are clearly very individualistic. It's just a strong sense I'm getting from this between the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. This is someone who has built their own empire, at least in their mind, and is not gonna be good at playing well with others, even if they want to. And so I think that probably the reason you're here right now asking what they would say to you is because they are not talking to you. They are keeping all of this to themselves, and they are already going it alone and not filling you in on what's going on. I think that this is a person who is used to being on top, and they feel like they are no longer on top, are no longer in control, and they're having a really hard time dealing with that fear. And their instinct is to just grab what they can and run. And I think it's as straightforward as that. They are scared, and they are having a very hard time compromising and playing well with others. It's that simple. I hope that this reading was helpful to you, that it made sense, that it resonated with you. I would love to hear in the comments what you thought. I would love to hear about your experiences. But if I don't hear from you, I thank you for being here today, and I hope to see you again in a future reading.